Greetings from Infinite Explorers. Welcome to our deep dive into the shadows of the Ruthless Kingpin. Stay tuned for an intense journey through power and deception. Chapter 2 left us on a cliffhanger. The air was thick with anticipation. We had just met Lucian. He was a man shrouded in mystery, his intentions unclear. He had arrived at the mansion with an air of authority. His presence unsettled everyone. Whispers followed him like shadows. Who was this man who commanded such respect and fear? His eyes, cold and calculating, seemed to pierce through everyone. They held secrets, dark and dangerous. Secrets that could shatter the fragile peace of the mansion. The mansion itself was a character. It loomed over the story, casting a long, ominous shadow. Its history was steeped in blood and secrets. The walls whispered of past sins. Every room held untold stories. The air was thick with the weight of untold truths. It was a place where the past refused to stay buried. It was a place where darkness thrived. The mansion was a perfect reflection of Lucian himself. Both were shrouded in mystery. Both held a dark allure. Lucian's arrival signaled a change. The balance of power shifted. The carefully constructed facade of normalcy began to crack. His presence was a catalyst. It threatened to unravel the secrets that bound the inhabitants of the mansion. The fragile peace they had clung to was about to shatter. The arrival of Lucian was the calm before the storm. A storm that promised to be brutal and unforgiving. A storm that threatened to consume them all. Chapter 3 opens with a sense of foreboding. The storm that was brewing in Chapter 2 has broken. The tension is palpable. A meeting has been called in the grand hall of the mansion. All the key players are present. They gather under the watchful gaze of a portrait. The portrait depicts the mansion's original owner. He stares down at them with a mixture of disdain and amusement. His eyes seem to follow their every move. It is as if he is privy to their secrets, as if he is mocking their attempts to maintain control. Lucian stands at the head of the table. He commands the room with an effortless authority. His voice is low and measured, but it carries an underlying threat. He lays out his plan. His words hang in the air. They are sharp and dangerous. His plan is audacious. It is risky, but it is their only hope. The other members of the meeting listen intently. They are trapped. They have no choice but to agree to his terms. The air is thick with apprehension. Doubts linger in their eyes, but no one dares to challenge Lucian. They know the consequences would be swift and brutal. He has a way of silencing dissent, a look, a gesture. It is enough to instill fear. Lucian is a master manipulator. He plays them like pawns in a game of chess. He is always several steps ahead. He anticipates their every move, and he uses their weaknesses against them. The meeting is a turning point. It marks a shift in the balance of power. Lucian has consolidated his control. He has laid bare his intentions. There is no turning back. The other members of the meeting are now complicit in his plans. They are bound to him by fear and necessity. They are caught in his web, and there is no escape. Lucian is a master of deception. He hides his true motives behind a veil of charm and charisma. He can be persuasive. He can be ruthless. He is both a savior and a destroyer. He is a complex character. He is driven by a desire for power. But there is also a hint of vulnerability, a glimpse of the man he once was, a man who was capable of love and compassion. But those days are long gone. Lucian has embraced the darkness. He has become the very thing he once despised. He is a monster of his own making, and he is about to unleash his fury upon the world. The mansion is just the beginning. It is a microcosm of his grand plan, a plan that will have far-reaching consequences. As the meeting concludes, a new character emerges, a young woman named Anya. She is Lucian's protege, intelligent and ambitious, eager to prove herself. Drawn to Lucian's power, she sees him as a mentor, yet she is blind to his true nature. Anya is a pawn in his game, a pawn he intends to sacrifice. Her arrival adds another layer of complexity to the story. She is a wild card, her loyalties uncertain, capable of both good and evil. She is a reflection of Lucian's own duality, both a victim and a perpetrator, a product of her environment. She symbolizes the cyclical nature of violence and corruption. Anya's relationship with Lucian is complex. He is both a father figure and a lover, the only person she trusts. She is fiercely loyal to him, but her loyalty is misplaced. She is unaware of his true intentions, blinded by her own ambition. She is a pawn in his game, and she is about to be played. Despite Lucian's apparent control, doubts linger. The other members of the meeting are not convinced. They are suspicious of his motives, fearing the consequences of his actions. They know that his plan is fraught with danger, but they are powerless to stop him. Whispers of dissent begin to circulate. The seeds of rebellion are sown, but they are quickly quashed. Lucian is a master of intimidation, ruling through fear and violence, brooking no opposition. He has eyes and ears everywhere, anticipating their every move. The atmosphere in the mansion becomes oppressive. The walls seem to close in, the air thick with paranoia. No one knows who to trust. Everyone is suspicious of everyone else. The mansion has become a prison, a gilded cage where the inmates are trapped by their own fears. The chapter ends with a shocking revelation, a betrayal that changes everything. One of Lucian's most trusted lieutenants turns against him. The reasons for the betrayal are unclear, but the consequences are devastating. Lucian is caught off guard, vulnerable for the first time, his control threatened. The betrayal throws the mansion into chaos. The fragile peace shattered. The balance of power shifts once again. The stage is set for a final confrontation, a showdown that will determine the fate of them all. The betrayer's motives remain a mystery. The chapter ends on a cliffhanger, leaving the reader desperate to know what happens next. Who will survive the coming storm, and what will become of the mansion and its inhabitants?